The air froze before the punch even landed. Time itself seemed to hesitate, as if the world knew something far more terrifying was about to unfold. If you enjoy my way of explaining and storytelling, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really motivates me to keep creating. A great number of people flew out from the cluster of buildings below, men and women alike, all dressed in simple, unadorned clothing. Yet not a single one dared approach. They hovered at a distance, watching in silence. Within the structures beneath them, children stood wide-eyed, their gazes fixed unblinkingly on Wang Lin. At the sight of them, Wang Lin was momentarily taken aback. It was clear this was an entire tribe of the Forsaken Immortal clan. They had remained here for an unknown span of time, multiplying and enduring until the present day. Those who had flown out continued to retreat as Wang Lin approached. None dared come closer. Fear flickered plainly within their eyes. The old man leading Wang Lin immediately grew somber. Speaking in a strange, unfamiliar tongue, he addressed the people in the air. They fell into silent contemplation before slowly dispersing. The old man quickly turned back to Wang Lin and with utmost respect said, "Upper Celestial this way. This is where my family resides." As he spoke, he descended from the sky, landing atop the tallest structure where he stepped aside deferentially. When Wang Lin landed, his eyes gleamed faintly, his divine sense spreading outward. Though he detected no danger, he made no move to enter. Instead, he said calmly, "This will suffice. There is no need to go inside." The old man stiffened, a trace of bitterness surfacing on his face. He nodded, no longer daring to insist. Above them, members of the Forsaken Immortal clan gathered, their gazes tense and uncertain as they watched Wang Lin. "Upper Celestial," the old man began, but Wang Lin cut him off. With a composed expression, Wang Lin looked at him and asked, "Why are their eyes filled with fear when they look at me?" The bitterness on the old man's face deepened. After a long silence, he sighed. "It has been a very long time since anyone from the celestial realm has come. It is as though the celestial king has abandoned us. I am the oldest here. Yet to be truthful, you are the first celestial I have ever seen. If not for the records left behind within my chosen immortal clan, even I would not have recognized you, let alone the others." Wang Lin said nothing, merely watching him in silence. The old man hesitated, then lowered his voice. "My clan was ordered by Celestial King Carefree to guard the mysterious Yin furnace. But starting 30,000 years ago, the furnace began opening once every 100 years. Each time it opens, it releases vast amounts of black fog. Fog that transforms into demonic beasts. The stronger among them can even take human form. Countless members of my clan have perished at the hands of these human-shaped fog beasts." He paused, his voice heavy. "That is why nearly every stranger that has appeared here has been one of those creatures. As for us, the tattoos upon our bodies prevent them from imitating our forms. But because of this, aside from me, no one can distinguish whether you are a celestial or one of those beasts. Even now, some still doubt my words." He finished with a long, weary sigh. Wang Lin gave a slight nod. There was some truth to the old man's words. Combined with what he had observed, the people's reactions, their fear, it all formed a reasonable explanation. After a brief moment of thought, Wang Lin asked calmly, "Where is the mysterious Yin furnace?" The old man immediately replied, "It lies within the forbidden grounds of my clan. Does Upper Celestial wish to go there now?" Wang Lin pondered briefly, then nodded. He wanted to see for himself what this so-called mysterious Yin furnace truly was. The old man was about to speak further when a sudden shout erupted from the crowd above. "Ancestor must not bring this person to the mysterious Yin furnace." The voice crashed like thunder echoing across the heavens. A towering man, nearly 10 feet tall, strode forward through the air. His upper body was covered in intricate tattoos that spread across nearly every inch of his flesh, even climbing up his neck and face. Between his brows, a 13-leaf plant swayed faintly, giving him an eerie, almost demonic aura. 13 leaves. Wang Lin's eyes narrowed. In his memory, the strongest member of the Forsaken Immortal clan on planet Suzaku had possessed only 11. comparable to a corporeal yang cultivator. Wang Lin remained expressionless, his gaze turning cold. The burly man stepped forward, his mere presence stirring excitement among the surrounding clan members. Their eyes shone with admiration and reverence. The old man beside Wang Lin suddenly shouted, "Ta Shan, show respect to the Celestial." Ta Shan's eyes turned icy as he looked at the old man, a sneer curling at his lips. "Ancestor, you've grown old. Have you gone mad from longing for Celestials? Most likely there are no Celestials at all. All those ancient records fabrications. If Celestials truly existed, why has my clan not seen a single one in countless years?" The old man's expression darkened. Silence. The chosen immortal clan are the messengers of the Celestials. If Celestials do not exist, then how can our clan exist? And what of the celestial jade left by the celestial king? Do you dare deny it? Believe, Ta Shan laughed coldly. That so-called celestial king is nothing more than a lingering divine sense left behind by someone long gone. Why should I believe in that? Rather than placing faith in something left countless years ago, I choose to believe in my own strength. He clenched his right hand, confidence blazing in his eyes. Heresy. The old man trembled, his teeth grinding. So what if it is heresy? Ta Shan roared, "Celestials, Celestials. My clan has remained trapped within this nether beast for countless years, guarding the mysterious yin furnace as commanded by that celestial jade. But what have we gained in return? Only the fog beasts and the deaths of our people. Where were the Celestials when those beasts slaughtered my clan? Ancestor, speak no more of them. Even if this man truly is a Celestial, then today I, Ta Shan, will slay a Celestial." As his voice fell, his gaze snapped toward Wang Lin, cold and filled with killing intent. He took a single step and instantly appeared before Wang Lin, his fist crashing forward. The moment his punch was unleashed, explosions rang out in succession. The tattoos across his body flared to life, arranging themselves as though forming a mysterious and ancient formation. "Celestial, show me your celestial power. Let me see what qualifies you to bear that title." Wang Lin's eyes turned ice-cold. He knew the Forsaken Immortal clan well. This man was clearly no shaman. He was one who cultivated the body to its utmost limits. As the punch closed in, Wang Lin immediately sensed the air around him congeal, as though it had turned into solid stone. It was as if the strike carried an unseen force that sealed off every path of retreat. Yet his expression remained calm, utterly unmoved. "Not bad," he said indifferently, but still far from enough. At the same moment, he lifted his right foot and stepped forward lightly. A thunderous series of explosions erupted from the ground beneath him, with his foot at the center. The force spread outward like a raging tide, and in an instant, the invisible power sealing his escape shattered completely. The restraints surrounding Wang Lin broke apart like fragile mirrors, shattering into countless fragments that swept backward in a violent surge. The burly man's expression changed drastically. He felt a terrifying force crashing toward him, and his body suddenly slowed. As if caught in a current he could not resist, Wang Lin took a single step and appeared directly before him. His hand pressed lightly against the man's chest. Yet that single touch forced the burly man to stagger backward uncontrollably. The tattoos across his body erupted in dazzling light, flickering like flames. He retreated dozens of steps. Though no wounds were visible on the surface within his body, chaos raged like a storm. Only the protection of his tattoos kept the damage from becoming fatal. With time, he would recover. A ferocious expression twisted across his face as he roared and struck his own chest. A deafening rumble echoed through the surroundings. At the same time, the tattoos covering his body began to writhe violently, peeling away from his flesh one after another. They hovered around him in countless numbers, forming a terrifying spectacle. With a roar, the burly man charged forward. The tattoos followed in a swirling storm, rushing toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin's eyes flickered with interest. Though the man's physical body could not compare to his celestial guard, the gap was not great. A faint sneer touched Wang Lin's lips as he stepped forward. It was as though he crossed an immeasurable distance in a single stride, instantly closing the gap between them. At the moment they collided, the burly man threw out another punch. The very world seemed to tremble. The surrounding tattoos shone like blazing spells surging forward in unison toward Wang Lin. A cold glint flashed in Wang Lin's eyes. He raised his right hand, the celestial stop spell activated. The burly man's body froze instantly in mid-motion. At that same instant, Wang Lin's finger pressed once more against his chest. With a resounding bang, the burly man was hurled backward. Blood burst from his mouth as he tumbled through the air, his gaze toward Wang Lin filled with shock. The tattoos surrounding him were also forced back, recoiling toward his body. He was not the only one shaken. All around them, the members of the clan stood frozen, their expressions stunned into silence as they watched the battle unfold. The ancestor of the chosen immortal clan grew anxious and hurriedly pleaded, "Upper Celestial, please do not be angered, spare Ta Shan's life." "No need." The burly man slammed into the ground, sliding backward. Only after retreating nearly 100 feet did he finally stabilize himself. With a furious roar, he formed hand seals and struck his chest without mercy. The tattoos around him began to move once more, this time retreating rapidly back toward his body. Yet instead of settling upon his skin, they thickened and expanded. In the blink of an eye, they formed a suit of black armor around him. The moment the armor appeared, a dark and oppressive aura spread outward. Behind him, a faint illusion emerged like the shadow of a devil god looming over his back. The ancestor inhaled sharply, his voice trembling with shock. "Celestial spirit armor. You actually refined a set of spirit armor." Wang Lin's eyes narrowed slightly. The armor was strangely familiar. It resembled the armor worn by the scattered demon. Yet the demonic energy it emitted was weaker, as though suppressed by some unseen force. The burly man roared and charged forward once more. Clad in black armor and towering in stature, he resembled a ferocious giant. A mere glance at him would shake the courage of the faint-hearted. The armor radiated a suffocating aura. As he advanced, the illusion behind him revealed a savage expression. His right fist shot forward. This punch far surpassed the previous two, both in power and in presence. At that instant, the illusion behind him dissolved into strands of black gas, coiling tightly around his fist. As the punch tore through the air, a sonic boom erupted. A terrifying pressure bore down upon Wang Lin. The black gas condensed into a grinning skull lunging forward as if to devour him whole. Wang Lin remained calm. He watched the approaching figure without the slightest ripple in his expression. Then he opened his mouth. A single grain of sand flew out. In an instant, it expanded into a colossal fragment stamp over 1,000 feet wide, crashing down toward the burly man. This was the first time the celestial fragment stamp had appeared outside the celestial realm. The moment it manifested, rich celestial spiritual energy flooded the surroundings. The old man immediately dropped to his knees, worshipping the fragment with reverence. Even the burly man hesitated for a fleeting moment. But in the next instant he clenched his teeth, casting aside all doubt. His fist slammed directly into the descending fragment. "Break for me!" The punch landed with a thunderous crash. The fragment did not move. Instead, the burly man was blasted backward. His body trembled violently as he coughed up blood, retreating again and again. Shock filled his eyes. He had not expected such unyielding strength. Not only had his full power failed to leave a mark, but the backlash sent his own blood and energy into chaos. The devilish illusion around his fist shattered instantly under the impact. Wang Lin's gaze turned cold. With a simple motion of his finger, the fragment rose into the air once more, then descended mercilessly. A sharp, piercing cry echoed across the heavens. As the fragment fell, the burly man roared, raising both hands as if to resist it. "Fall," Wang Lin said calmly. The fragment slammed into the ground. A deafening rumble shook the world. The entire continent trembled violently as massive cracks spread in all directions. From within those cracks, dense fog began to surge outward. The moment it appeared, The fog gathered together, condensing rapidly. In almost an instant, it took on bizarre and twisted forms. Fog beasts. The clan members cried out. The plants between their brows began to glow. Layers of leaves unfurled, and from within emerged the long-mouthed pots Wang Lin had seen before. The fog finished condensing. More than 100 savage black beasts appeared in the sky, each with a different grotesque form, all radiating a gloomy, sinister aura. Low, soul-piercing roars filled the air. The ancestor's expression darkened. He pressed his hand to his brow, summoning a massive, long-mouthed pot over 10 feet in length. Rising into the sky, he shouted, "Form ranks. Clear the fog within 30 minutes. Do not allow any human-shaped fog beasts to appear." His figure flashed as he rushed toward a newly formed beast. With a strike to the pot, a powerful suction force erupted from its mouth. Though the beast's eyes remained closed, it struggled violently. Its body twisted, collapsing into smoke that was forcibly drawn into the pot. Soon, muffled banging echoed from within. Around him, the other cultivators followed suit. Their expressions were tense, their movements swift as they wielded their treasures against the fog beasts. Wang Lin's eyes gleamed. With a flick of his finger, the fragment stamp rose once more. Below Ta Shan's body lay broken in many places, blood seeping from his orifices. Yet he was not dead. His gaze still burned with fierce battle intent. Wang Lin ignored him. Instead, his attention fixed upon the fog beasts. His eyes flickered continuously as he studied them. These creatures had only just formed. Though they possessed bodies, their consciousness had yet to fully awaken. Combined with the clan's experience, the beasts were quickly suppressed. Many were already being sealed into the pots. But at that very moment, one of the fog beasts suddenly opened its eyes. It was the first to awaken. Wang Lin had never seen such eyes before. There were no pupils, only 6 black dots floating within a field of grey, utterly emotionless. The clan member before it paled in terror and retreated without hesitation. But it was too late. The beast surged forward with terrifying speed, catching up in an instant, and entered his body through his orifices. A blood-curdling scream echoed across the world. In the next moment, his body exploded into a cloud of flesh and blood. The fog beast reformed, licking its lips, with a long, grotesque tongue before rushing toward its next target. One after another, more fog beasts opened their eyes. Their dormant state vanished. What replaced it was pure bloodlust. They moved like lightning, celestial slaughter array. The ancestor shouted anxiously as he dodged an incoming beast. Wang Lin's eyes narrowed. One of the awakened fog beasts locked onto him and charged forward with a ferocious roar that seemed capable of piercing the very soul. Wang Lin let out a cold snort. His figure blurred, and in the next instant, he appeared beside the fog beast. His fingers came together like a blade, moving even faster than the creature itself. In a single motion, he pressed them between its brows. The fog beast exploded. Yet even as its form collapsed, it did not dissipate. Instead, it unraveled into a mass of mist, twisting and writhing as it began to reform. A glint of interest flashed through Wang Lin's eyes. He stepped forward again, arriving at the point where the fog was gathering. Thunder within his body surged, converging at the tip of his finger. A sphere of lightning formed. With a flick of his hand, the thunderball shot forward, striking the reforming mist. A chain of explosions rang out. The fog shattered further, breaking into thin strands of smoke. Wang Lin's gaze sharpened. His hand formed a seal, and he pointed again. More thunder erupted, violent rumbles shaking the air as the remaining mist was completely obliterated. At that moment, the remaining fog beasts let out piercing cries and charged toward the surrounding clan members. Wang Lin remained calm. He stepped forward, rising into the air. His finger lifted toward the heavens as he spoke slowly. "Underworld River." The sky roared. From the void, the underworld river descended, its waters churning with a vast and ancient grievance. Wang Lin stood upon it like the sovereign of the netherworld itself. Third ability. The power of the underworld river. An overwhelming suction force erupted from the river. The fog beasts, which had been charging wildly, were instantly caught. One after another, they were dragged helplessly toward the river, their bodies collapsing into mist as they struggled in vain. It was not just one or two, almost all of them were drawn in. No matter how they resisted, they could not escape. They were devoured by the current, pulled into the depths of the underworld river. At that moment, the ancestor's expression changed drastically. Upper celestial stop. Wang Lin's eyes narrowed. As the old man's voice rang out, Wang Lin suddenly sensed something strange. The black fog drawn into the river was not being refined. Instead, it gathered. It condensed, forming a human-shaped silhouette. The figure had no clear features, only a hazy outline made of mist. Yet the moment it appeared, it stepped out of the river as if the river's power had lost its hold over it. Its form was indistinct except for one detail: its right eye. The ancestor quickly descended from the sky. The other clan members followed suit, landing one after another. When the old man saw that the figure possessed only a single eye, he let out a breath of relief. He turned to Wang Lin and shouted urgently, "Upper Celestial, return at once. I will activate the Celestial Array. This is a humanoid fog beast. If a spell fails to kill it outright, it will become immune to that spell forever." Wang Lin's eyes gleamed. Without hesitation, he retreated. The moment he did, the one-eyed humanoid fog beast surged forward, chasing after him with terrifying speed. Wang Lin's gaze turned icy. Thunder gathered within him. In an instant, dozens of fist-sized spheres of lightning formed around his body. With a flick of his finger, they shot forward. But just as they neared their target, Wang Lin spoke sharply. "Gather." The spheres instantly merged into one. It struck the humanoid fog beast with a deafening explosion. The creature collapsed. But in the very next instant, it reformed as though it had suffered no harm at all. It continued its relentless pursuit. Now, however, thunder coursed through its body. As it moved, the lightning it emitted mirrored Wang Lin's own. Its speed increased dramatically. In a blink, it caught up. A flash of killing intent passed through Wang Lin's eyes. His hand swept over his storage bag. The celestial sword appeared. Without hesitation, he slashed downward. The heavenly chop descended. The humanoid fog beast froze. For the first time, fear appeared in its eye. It tried to retreat, but it was too late. Silently, its body split in two. A torrent of mist burst forth, accompanied by a mournful wail. Wang Lin stepped forward, vanishing and reappearing beside the dispersing fog. The heavenly chop fell again. Blade after blade descended, slicing through the mist, forcing it to collapse further and further. But moments later, the fog began to resist. Its rate of collapse slowed. It even showed signs of reforming once more. Wang Lin's eyes flashed. His finger pointed forward. "Stop." The celestial stop spell spread instantly. The reforming fog froze in place. At that moment, the beast bone tattoo on Wang Lin's right hand emerged. A massive beast appeared. Its eyes glowed with a ghostly light, and a dense, sinister aura flooded the surroundings. A grey light spread across the frozen fog. It began to petrify. Wang Lin's expression remained cold. He pointed again. A surge of origin energy poured into the petrified mass. It shattered. The fragments crumbled, then disintegrated completely. Gone without a trace. Silence fell. The members of the chosen immortal clan stared, their eyes wide with disbelief. This was the first time they had seen a humanoid fog beast, one that usually required an entire formation to destroy, eliminated by a single person in such a short span of time. Even more shocking, it had never had the chance to resist. From beginning to end, it had been utterly suppressed. Below, Ta Shan struggled to rise from the ground, his body still pinned moments before by the fragment. He stared at Wang Lin in the sky, his mind shaken to its core. This is a celestial. Wang Lin's techniques had surpassed all imagination. Even the ancestor stood frozen, murmuring softly to himself. "Whither, Dao pair?" Wang Lin withdrew his gaze from where the fog beast had vanished. He turned to the old man. Now he said calmly, "Take me to the mysterious yin furnace." The old man inhaled deeply. The respect in his eyes deepened further. This way, upper celestial. He rose into the air and led the way toward the buildings. Wang Lin followed casually, his expression unchanged. This time, none of the clan members dared to obstruct them. Ta Shan's eyes flickered. He rose to his feet, took several steady breaths, and followed behind. The old man turned, anger flashing across his face. Ta Shan, will you continue to be so ungrateful? The upper celestial has already shown mercy. Indeed, Wang Lin had held back. He had arrived here knowing nothing. Killing recklessly might have caused unforeseen consequences, otherwise Ta Shan would have long since died. Ta Shan lowered his head slightly. Ancestor, I know I was wrong. I only wish to accompany you to the mysterious Yin furnace. I am, after all, very familiar with that place. The old man frowned, about to rebuke him, but Wang Lin spoke first. Let him come. He can lead the way. The old man bowed, saying nothing more, and continued forward. The three of them moved at a steady pace. After the time it takes half an incense stick to burn, Wang Lin saw an altar in an open area beyond the buildings. It was not large, and cracks ran across its surface. Beneath it stood a purple gate marked with a flickering rune. The old man descended before the gate. Biting his fingertip, he drew the same rune in the air with his blood. A crimson flash. The gate rumbled open, revealing a dark passage beyond. A chilling aura poured out. When it touched the body, it felt as though it could burrow into one's very bones. For those with insufficient cultivation, it would leave hidden injuries. The old man stepped aside. Upper celestial, the mysterious Yin furnace lies within. Wang Lin's divine sense spread inward. Beneath the cold aura, he detected a faint yet well-hidden trace of celestial spiritual energy. Enter, he said calmly. The old man nodded and stepped forward. But before he could proceed, Ta Shan moved ahead, blocking his path. The old man frowned. Ta Shan, what are you doing now? Ta Shan looked at Wang Lin. This place is filled with cold energy. The ancestor is old, it would be inconvenient. Let me lead the way. The old man shook his head. Though the cold is strong, I can still endure it. Ta Shan's gaze remained fixed on Wang Lin. Upper Celestial, I am the altar keeper of this generation. I am qualified to guide you inside. Wang Lin looked at him quietly. His gaze was deep, piercing, as though it could see through the man's very heart. Yet Ta Shan did not avert his eyes. He met Wang Lin's gaze head-on. After a moment, Wang Lin withdrew his gaze. Very well. Without another word, Ta Shan turned and entered the passage. A faint sneer appeared on Wang Lin's lips as he followed. As for the old man, he hesitated. He had already seen through some of Ta Shan's intentions, but in the end, he did not follow. Instead, he sat down where he was. Inside, layers of stairs spiraled downward. With each step, the cold grew more intense. After the time it takes half an incense stick to burn, they reached the bottom. The moment they arrived, Wang Lin's eyes narrowed. A world lay hidden beneath. The underground space stretched nearly 1,000 feet across. At its center stood a massive furnace 100 feet tall. Its surface was covered in countless engraved tattoo patterns.